Drink Tank.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to, this would normally be a drink tank, but we have no drinks. So I guess this is just Derek and Plummer reviewing a movie. And that movie is a little film called Oddity. Now, a couple weeks back, you reached out to me and you said, keep the weekend of the 27th open because I want to come over and watch this movie Oddity and maybe we should do a review on it. And I said, yeah, that sounds fine.
I didn't even mention reviewing it. I'd heard buzz. I heard it was coming to Shudder. And
yes, and I have
I'm excited. When a horror movie has buzz, I get excited.
Yeah, I understand that. I avoided pretty much everything about it. I think I've seen like one marketing still of like what I thought was a mummy at a table. Turns out it's not a mummy, it's like a wood golem. So, I mean, which makes more sense.
Yeah, the little snippet that I read was there's a blind woman and there's paranormal objects and some kind of revenge.
Yeah, I didn't even know so much about the revenge part of it, but they don't really waste our time getting to that either, so no. I appreciate this, including credits. I think the runtime, it said, was 99 minutes. And in that 99 minutes, they do a really good job kind of controlling like tension and atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it quite a bit, so I highly recommend Oddity. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch.
I also highly recommend it. And it did something that, one of the reasons is because it does something that quite a few that I miss in a lot of movies. You know, you can't do it in every horror movie. You can't do it in every, right. The horror movies are a wide variety of slasher to full-on supernatural to what the hell is going on.
Psychological
literally
stuff.
In hell kind of stuff. But this one, it doesn't, I like paranormal horror, and I like it when the humans have some level of control over the paranormal. You know, like there's a lot of movies where there's one movie I kept trying to watch. It's like psychics find these children in a graveyard and they're zombies, and it's like psychics are investigating. And you're like, why the hell are psychics investigating? But I like when
because they can speak to the dead,
right? But I kind of like when they already have the established psychic connection world. I mean, it's not like Mob Psycho 100, which is an anime, but right, you know, Mob Psycho 100 has a level of psychics involved in the world, and you know, I like it when you have the paranormal and the human worlds mixed. And I mean, this isn't a paranormal human mix world. It's not like Hellboy or Hellboy 2 or the new Hellboys, which, oh my God, I don't even know why I'm mentioning them.
Crooked Man.
Straight to VHS.
Sort of.
You know, I really enjoy paranormal and humans meeting. Yeah. And this isn't, I'm not going to say this is exactly that, but this is a paranormal horror movie.
This ticks quite a few boxes for me for what I like from horror. I think first of all, it's a cool setting, so it's a pretty creepy setting.
Yeah.
The characters, we spend a lot of time with the characters, so it's like even though it's only 99 minutes, you get to know a little bit about them. You kind of have an understanding of who they are and what some of their motivations are. I will say where this movie kind of falters, and again, this is a movie I really enjoyed and I have high praise for. It is kind of a paint-by-numbers cliche plot, right? It's not anything new. I mean, you pretty much called every single thing that was going to happen at the beginning of the movie.
But at the same time, I like seeing them.
Right. And it's not so much a mystery. It's not, the mystery of the movie is not nearly as entertaining as like the character interactions and how like the paranormal stuff interacts with our human characters, and watching like some unnerving sequences of like really good tension. They did a good job with lighting. Things established at the beginning of the movie play a part at the end of the movie.
I love effectively used jump scares. Don't just put shit all over and do random camera cuts. But if you're like doing that pan and you think there's gonna be something and you think it and then it's there, perfectly good jump scare. Don't just pull it. Don't just not 90 of them in 90 minutes,
Yeah, exactly.
5 of them in 90 minutes was great.
There aren't that many. And to be honest, the only one of them actually got me. Because I was like, I just know it. I just know it. And then sure enough, it happens. And it's just like you build the anticipation.
Right.
Like you said, there aren't that many jump scares. It's a lot more atmosphere. And it's a lot more like, well, this is unsettling. Like, this is unnerving. And knowing that there's like a paranormal component to it kind of makes every scene seem like something could happen.
Right, and I mean the only mysteriously motivated character was, I don't even know if she's the main character. I don't think I would.
Yeah,
she's the protagonist. Yeah, but she, you're kind of unsure exactly where she's going with her.
Right.
Like, little.
See, so like what. you know, like we've pretty much gone as far as we can without being specific. So that's kind of like our spoiler-free segment. Watch the movie. It's on streaming. We're just going to get into spoilers.
It's got good atmosphere. It's
does.
Irish, but you can understand what they're fucking saying.
Yeah, it's true.
It's kind of cool. Like I don't typically like bottle episodes or whatever you want to call them within its movie, but it has two settings. It
has two settings.
Yeah,
the psychiatric hospital and the house,
and it works. Like sometimes you can really make that work, and they made it work.
Yeah, it's almost like a stage play quality where it's like they really knew how to maximize their usage of set and design. And I think it helps too that there's a lot of shadow and that because it's such a smaller place too, everything is kind of in frame. And I think that helps keep a little bit of the tension up because you're always very aware of the wood golem, you know, like he's in the room with you constantly. So that's our spoiler-free synopsis. Go watch the movie. We're now going to dive into spoilers, which to be honest, there's really not a lot to spoil. You know, I guess the main thing, like I said, is like I'm not a big fan of the story because it is kind of like husband has wife killed.
Right. You said I don't want another husband killing them, but I mean,
yeah.
If like my sister and my mom have been watching tons of British, Agatha Christie, Murder She Wrote, and when it comes down to it, it's like 70% of them are spouse killing spouse, which I guess in reality is pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate. So, I think the only thing that kind of bummed me out about it was there was this potential to play with the idea because the blind sister has brain cancer, they said, or had it at some point. It might be back, it might not be.
Remission.
Who knows? The moral of the story is that there's something wrong with her brain. And it would have been very interesting to play a little bit more into, is she crazy? Is this an effect of like the brain tumor kind of psychological psychosis? That's not what this movie is, but I just thought, because they mentioned it so early, I thought for sure brain tumor was going to play a factor in it at some point.
So when I'm talking earlier about how they actually dive into the paranormal in this movie, I like that they didn't do that. In so many movies, they're like, or are they just crazy? And it's like, no.
No, I meant like what she imagined the stories in her mind were. I was fine with there being like the paranormal stuff, but like her being like, you murdered my sister, as opposed to it being like, no, just a crazy guy did it. Like if it had just been somewhat
well random. At the start she thought that's what it was and she killed that guy.
She did kill that guy.
She murdered an innocent man first.
She murdered an innocent man first. You're right, she did murder the innocent man first, and it changes her, which is why when she shows up later she's so much more sure of it. Yeah. So she's got like the psychic gift. Anything she touches, she can read the history of, which is why.
And the longer it's been connected to someone's, like touching their skin specifically, she mentions, the more she can divine from it.
Which is important because in the beginning they established the guy with the one eye. He is like, I saw somebody come into your house. Like, I need to save you, I need to save you. And it's very effective at the beginning for being very unsettling.
Yeah.
And like, she goes to the door and it cut to the title. And at first I was like, oh, that's boring. But I was wrong. To the movie's credit, they mess with that a little bit throughout it. And we get to see the continuation of it. We get to learn that he overhears the plot to murder the wife. So it's not coincidence he's there or any of that. You know, it's like, so all that stuff that they set up gets paid off. Even that thing at the beginning where she boards up the floor has a payoff section.
Right.
You know, like, it's just good writing to that extent where it's like you have a small scale, you have a small set, and you've set up like 3 things. Even the camera. They set up a couple things, and they all get something to do at the end of the movie. And I'm just like, awesome. Thank you for not forgetting what you showed us like 90 seconds ago or like 90 minutes ago. But I loved it. Tight script like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just rewatched Tremors. And, you know, as I was watching, I was like, how tight is this script?
It's so tight.
Every single thing they do has a payoff. Like, everything you learn about the characters is, it's not important, but it's valuable if you want to think about the characters. If you want to have some kind of, not chemistry, if you want to have some kind of connection to the character.
Right, yes.
Like the little things they show you, and that's how it is in this movie. Like, you know, the husband was a cheating husband, and the woman's sitting there like, maybe I should kill the the other woman.
Kill the other woman. I loved that because, first of all, the other woman is like, when the sister shows up and she's like, oh, I just thought I'd stay. And she's like, get her out of her house. This is so weird and uncomfortable.
Oh my, that scene was amazing.
Yeah, it was so awkward. And as you kept saying, it's like, wow, she really knows how to play like her blindness for guilt in this.
Weaponizing her disability.
Yeah, and it was awesome. So like, even though we're like, this is ridiculous, like it's a believable ridiculous within the concept.
Right.
And, you know, the characters, they don't really do too many stupid things. I don't really have too many complaints about things that I guess the one part I leaned over to you is when they do the flashback to the wife and she puts the hammer down to pick up the camera. I was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like don't do that. But that's like, I think
He's
that's
so unnerved at the moment. Like, you know how shaking my hands would be? I'd be
Yeah.
like, I look like you on a Sunday morning.
or a Saturday afternoon. So no, but like I think that's probably like the only time where I was like really like, all right, this is asking a little too much of me, right? But it's okay. I didn't mind it. Because the rest of the movie is like kind of like, it's not really about like that kind of detail. It's more about like, all right, it's already in the past. Something bad happened. You know something bad happened. Move forward. The wood golem was used effectively, you know, because it's in a lot of scenes, but it doesn't do a lot in every scene.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really just effective as like this unnerving thing. When the woman starts unpacking its head, we're like, okay, this is definitely what we think it is, right?
Yeah.
And just pretty interesting things like that. When it is funny because like the new girl, the what's her name? Yana is so just like, get Darcy out of my fucking house. Like, I don't want her here. Right? And then it turns out that like Darcy did have intentions to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
So she was going to kill the mistress, right? Mm-hmm. But the ghost of the dead wife saves the mistress.
Yeah, she's like, run. And she does. She runs the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And she's like, my sister always was more forgiving than me.
Yeah, but I thought that was like so cool
Yeah.
because it's like, no, she doesn't deserve this, you know? Like,
Right.
I just thought, you don't see that a lot.
No.
And it was a good use of the ghost, you know? It was just a good use of the ghost.
Multiple ghosts.
Yeah, multiple ghosts. the bell.
Yeah, no. So I mean, when it comes down to it, it's this great paranormal movie with the sister who lives in like sort of a different world. She's blind, but she has like all these cursed objects. Man, if they wanted to do a sequel with the cursed objects, that'd be pretty cool.
Well,
like the mom comes in and gets her objects. I don't know.
The mom's dead. That's why.
So?
Yeah. Well, so did everyone else in this movie. Every character we meet in this movie ends up dead.
Not Yana.
Not Yana. Yana leaves.
And we don't know the husband dies.
Yes, we do. We 100% know he does because
Bell boy could be just waiting to give him assistance.
I loved that ending because it was so darkly comedic.
Yeah.
But because at the end of the movie, because at the beginning of the movie they established this bellman's bell that if you ring it, the ghost shows up, kills you.
Right, like there'd been a bellboy in a hotel, and on one of his runs, he died, fell down the stairs and died, and then the next time they rang the bell, his ghost came and answered, and the last two people that rang the bell died.
Right.
So it's like, oh, that's creepy. And at the end, the husband's like sitting there staring at it. Ding.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna ding it and it was gonna cut to black, right? And we were gonna be left with like it's like, did he die? And then it's like, yes, he died. That's why the movie cut to black, you know, like one of those things. But instead, they have a little more fun with it. They do a few more spooky camera angles.
Yep.
And then they do like the smug pull out where he's like, I'm fine. And right behind him is the ghost. And it's like, it's funny.
No, that's great. And like I said, I don't like it when they leave. If it's a paranormal world or if they're talking about paranormal stuff, filmmakers love to leave it vague.
Yeah.
Was it? Did he have a demon in him?
100%
Was he
supernatural.
Possessed? Were they just crazy? And this one, it's like, no. She actually has a cursed relic store.
Yeah. No, and it was good introduction with the characters too. Like again, the bell, they set it up early, it's get a payoff at the end. You just like, it was just so refreshing to watch a movie where they were so sure of like their script and like, especially like the cinematography was real nice because it wasn't like overly dark, effective use of light, you know, and it was just fun to watch such like a confident movie, like hit its plot beats and not really stumble.
I mean, and I also like it when just an actor steals the show with just like one scene, and that was two scenes, and that was the Olin Boyle.
Yeah.
He stole the show from me. I was
Owen
like,
Boyle
that guy kicked ass.
was awesome.
They did a great job with his creepy eye that he'd clearly drawn
He'd
himself.
drawn the pupil on himself. Yeah, that was fantastic. The iris. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, he was trying to do the right thing and it cost him everything. And the sister's guilt over murdering him was pretty neat too, you know, because
She didn't feel that guilty.
she
was
said,
like,
I'll have
I
to
am
pay,
gonna pay for that.
Yeah, no,
See you in hell, bitches.
I mean, just like a good movie. I don't know. I don't really have that much to talk about other than
No, there's nothing else to say other than
I
watch
enjoyed it. Yeah, and like I said, I wanted to talk about those few plot points just to highlight the fact that this was one of the better movies we've sat down to watch in a while.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, spooky season.
Grab Shudder, watch Oddity.
Yeah.
Grab a month subscription.
Yeah.
At the end of this month.
Do the AMC Plus. Well, you know what? Actually, this was a quick one for us because usually we're too busy tearing things apart that we don't like, but I think we're out.